Hello, I'm a little early. Hey guys. Can you hear me okay? Let me know. I will get started in just a minute. I'll just wait for people to pop on. Let's go, Brandon, somebody said. That's for later. You caught the algorithm. Your dome is on the front page. Yay! That's good news. I assume you mean my head by dome. We'll wait just a minute for people to pop on. How is everybody? I have been howdy. Hello, hello. We're just waiting a minute. We'll see who's popping in. I'll get started here in just a minute. My head was on the front page. No work today for me. Lucky duck. I have something funny I'm going to show you in just a minute. It's actually where I am right now. I'm still in Virginia. I go back tomorrow. Do you have, what do they call that? The Sunday scaries? The Musk deal is not done. I know it's Monday, but they usually call that for people that work a regular 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. They call it the Sunday scaries. That feeling you get. Hi, Lance. How are you? The deal isn't done. Hold on. I'll see if it. Let me see if I can get a live update. I don't think it's done, but oh, Elon Musk to buy Twitter is done. Musk appears to confirm. Cool. So it looks like it is done. Just a few minutes ago, it said it was expected to be done by the end of the day, but it looks like it's done now. So that's very cool. Yay for Elon. It's so funny. These text messages are coming back up. I guess I'll just go ahead and get started by him. But we have some really funny reactions from leftists. It's pretty awesome. Hold on. Let me adjust for you guys. RIP TV dinners. Is it done really? Yeah, it looks like it's done. Um Breaking. Yep. Okay. So Twitter to accept Elon Musk. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Sorry. If it's not done, it's about to be done. Exactly. So, Twitter's board of directors is expected to announce today that they have accepted Elon Musk's multi-billion-dollar offer to buy out the social media platform. Um, Two sides worked through the right to hash out a deal that would be valued at $54.20 a share, or 44 billion. So he basically bought it for $44 billion. Assuming there isn't a last minute snag, the deal is expected to be announced after the market closes Monday. So, if you know the market just closed. So, that would be right now. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, which is closing time for the market. Twitter's board of directors initially appeared poised to do everything in its power, including adopting a poison pill, if you guys remember that, to stop Musk from buying out the company with his unsolicited $43 billion. However, things changed after Musk disclosed in a Securities and Exchange Commission filing last week that he had secured more than 46.5 billion in financing to take over the company, including 13 billion from Morgan Stanley, 12.5 billion from other banks, and 21 billion from himself. So he spent 21 billion dollars himself to buy it and got other people. And I think this all started, this really got started when Twitter banned the Babylon Bee. But it's so funny because all of these tweets are coming up here. I'm going to show you one. This is from so that's from 2000. You can't really see it. That is from 2017. And Elon Musk says, I love Twitter. Some dude named Dave Smith said, you should buy it then. And Elon says, how much is it? That's December 2017. The Babylon Bee might have been the final straw. Yeah, and it's a satire magazine. And it's so funny too because they get fact checked so much. I think it's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. So the guy who actually asked that, his name is Dave Smith. Sorry, it's hard to see that. But he retweeted this today and he says, this exchange continues to haunt me. Hilarious. I want to smell Elon's Musk. He should. Okay, I think that's his next venture. I think he needs to come out with a fragrance because there is like a musk. I used to wear this thing, it was white musk I used to wear. But I have a reaction. These are leftists reacting. But no, it's pretty funny. There's some really an alpha male fragrance. There's some hilarious reactions to this. Where is this guy? So this guy, I'll read you some funny reactions. And why this is another just huge self-own by people who call themselves liberal because Elon Musk has said in the past one of the reasons he was interested in buying Twitter is because he thought it would be really cool to just have a big public square that is pro freedom of speech that doesn't ban people, especially the Babylon Bee, which is satire. They're hilarious. This guy, Duncan Trussell, says, today I decided to sell my Twitter to Elon Musk. Oh, to sell. Today I decided to sell Twitter to Elon Musk. When I created Twitter, I wanted it to be a place where anonymous sociopaths could get into toxic public debates with my artificial intelligence bots. Isn't that basically what it is now, anyway? He says, if Elon wants to try to make my digital torture chamber into a place where actual humans argue with each other, more power to him. I just know it was never my intention that Twitter to be a fun place that involves public discourse or any kind of that high-minded BS. Also, I need the cash. I like that. And then we had people saying it was like when Donald Trump got elected, we have people saying that. I mean, guys, there's still Twitter and Canada. They got me. They got me. People are joking, saying they're moving to Canada. I thought they were being serious, and I was just going to joke about how dumb they are. But now I'm like, I'm the dumb one. That was a joke, Sarah. Yeah, but that's exactly what they're doing. Conservatives are making fun of liberals online by saying they're going to move to Canada. But as we know, Twitter is in Canada. So Shaun White said something really interesting. Do you guys know who Shaun White is? He's like that guy. He's kind of like a race hustler. He said, at its root, Elon Musk wanting to purchase Twitter is not about left versus right. It's about white power. A man who was raised in apartheid by white nationalists. He's upset that Twitter won't allow white nationalists to target slash harass people. That's a definition. That's his definition of free speech. And listen, I don't even like the Democratic Party. So for me, this isn't about left versus right, not at all. It's about how the richest man in the world, a son of apartheid, raised by white nationalists, wants to be sure his speech and that of other white men isn't censored. Kelly, thank you so much. I'm doing really good. How are you? We're making fun of people's reactions from Elon Musk buying Twitter because that deal is going through today. It should be through right now. But it just cracks me up because, well, first of all, you're not allowed to, you're not, on any internet platform, if you threaten someone, if you make actual threats, you can be banned off those platforms. That's not protected under free speech. Yeah, it's about done. So it's not like so even if you were to fancy their argument for a second, still on any platform, even pro free speech platforms, you can't be out there making threats. That's against the law. But I don't know. I think that Twitter is actually, because if you talk to younger people, I use Twitter a lot because I get a lot of news stories from Twitter and I follow a lot of independent journalists, so I'll get live updates on stuff. That, and I get a lot of stuff to put in my videos and to talk about it. Sean White. Did I say Sean White? I meant Sean King. Is that what I said? I totally meant Sean King. Yes, Sean White is no, he's a snowboarder. Talcum X. I will use Twitter again. It's so funny because there's all these liberals saying I'm getting off Twitter. Poor Mr. White. I'm so sorry I said that. You guys knew who I was talking about. I was totally talking about Sean King. But I'm reading he keeps saying white power. Like she was stating that Sean is white. Yes, I was. Thank you. True. So yeah, all the liberals are saying they're going to stop using Twitter, and now all these conservatives, even on my other social media, they're saying, "Oh, I quit Twitter a long time ago. Now I'll come back." But it really is. Twitter is big amongst like a lot of echo chambery activists that call themselves journalists, and it's sort of run by that kind of mob, and normal regular people don't even use Twitter anymore, and especially with the generation that's just a little bit younger, Twitter is not cool to them. But how cool would it be if it actually was a public square that could kind of connect all of us because we're all so separated? How cool would it be if we actually had sort of that town square like what it was supposed to be in the first place? I think it'll be a lot cooler, to be honest with you. And I think it's so funny how all of these liberals completely self own. You know what's really funny? I was talking to two girls yesterday. One of them, she's 18, she's a senior in high school, and the other one is 21. So she's in college studying psychology. And we were having this really interesting conversation. And I know that both of them are super liberal. And they asked me, they were like, they have no idea what I do on the internet. And they said, Sarah, because we were having a conversation about the death penalty, random, I know. But they were like, Sarah, are you blue or red? And I looked at them and I was like, I'm red. And they were like, what? They were so surprised. So people just assume I'm liberal when they meet me. Um, and I said to them, I was like, you know, um, actually being red now, most people that are red now are actually, a lot of them are classic liberals. Just the Democratic Party or liberals now, they've just gone too far. So now a lot of people that are center are called red or are called Republicans, even when they're actually not. And I told him, I was like, you know, I used to be a bleeding heart Democrat, and then I saw what the party was becoming, and I'm like, I don't identify with that. And I said a lot of my views are actually the same views that um, even Barack Obama had as far as like immigration and things like that. But the party has just gone off the deep end. And it was so funny because they're so young and they totally understood. They were like, yeah, we know. Like the Democratic Party or liberals have just gone crazy. The party has gone way too far to the left. So it was really interesting to me to talk to two just random young people and they totally see what's going on. I thought that was very cool. And that's what liberals are doing right now. Like everyone that is melting down over freedom of speech. That is hilarious. Yet They don't care that, Jeff Bezos, he's one of the richest men in the world. He owns the Washington Post. Like, that's okay with them. They're also okay with corporations, and we'll get into that because I'm going into Disney right now. Um, it's funny, the liberals are calling everybody else crazy. I know. That's actually, one of the first things when I made the big switch, I call it, back in 2016 when I started realizing what was going on. So I've told you guys before, I didn't even vote in the 2016 election, but if I would have voted for Hillary Clinton. I was just one of those people. I always vote for Democrats um, and I actually started doing my research because I'm like, why? I felt like my friends, like people I knew, were going crazy. I watched Donald Trump get elected and I was like, why is everyone melting down right now? Like, I thought he was kind of a silly man because and the only reason I thought that is because I wasn't paying attention to the election coverage. All I was watching were clips here and there on CNN. So I just, like everyone, whatever, you knew that, Kelly. I just, like everyone else, that was my impression of Donald Trump, but I knew he wasn't a white supremacist. I knew he wasn't, this like Nazi like everyone was claiming him to be. And I remember on election night, I saw him get elected. I think I was on the East Coast at the time, so it was like 4 a.m. that they announced that he was going to be the president in 2016. And right after that, you saw just everyone melt down, like celebrities. I remember like Lady Gaga with this picture of her on a big rig in New York protesting, and she had her fist up, and she was so stunning and brave, and it was just kind of cringy. And I remember texting my friend and I'm like, we've always been friends. We're always on the same page. We both have common sense. I texted her and I'm like, wow, people are like really, really having a moment because he was elected. And I got this novel back of her just telling me that he was a Nazi and a white supremacist, and people were just expressing their feelings. And I was like, whoa, you and I are different now. We're different. Hi, Glenn. How are you? It opened up this whole new world and I got fascinated. But another thing that fascinated me, I don't know if any of you remember this. I didn't even know who he was at the time. But Milo, speaking of freedom of speech, Berkeley in California, the university, that's like the home of freedom of speech. That was like the freedom of speech university. And fast forward to 2016, you have Milo Yiannopoulos, which I'm not saying I'm a fan of Milo Yiannopoulos. He's a provocateur. He's a little much for me. But he was going to speak at Berkeley and Antifa came out. It got really violent. It got to the point where he had to be taken out by security. He couldn't even do the talk because it was so violent. And I remember this video coming out of him in a hotel room after, just talking about how strange it was that this happened at Berkeley. And there you go again, a college like Berkeley, who is supposed to be so liberal and so tolerant, and they're shutting down people's right to speak. And even though I'm not, Milo has made me laugh a few times, but he's a provocateur. I don't always agree with his tactics, but I understand what he's doing. But he should still have a right to speak. Antifa speech is allowed on some campuses, but not conservatives. Oh, I have something that you guys will like. I'm gonna read it to you. It's I saw it. Okay, it's definition of woke. Here's the definition of woke. A state of awareness only achieved by those dumb enough to find injustice in everything except their own behavior. Tell me that's not perfect. I wonder if the algorithm gets released by Elon Musk. We'll see. I honestly think that it'll be a lot cooler. I think more people will use it now. And what are they pro? They're pro stories being suppressed because that's what happened before the 2016 election. You had Facebook and Twitter were suppressing stories about the people being elected, and there was a poll taken. So it was like the Hunter Biden story, the Joe Biden allegations, those were suppressed. And was it Myth? I can't remember who it was, but there was a poll done after the election where they took a bunch of people that voted. 1 out of 7 people said that if they were aware of those two stories, they would not have voted for Joe Biden. And that's like 30% of people that voted for Joe Biden. You can't even use certain words. I know. Well, you even have to be careful on YouTube. Like, I get nervous about certain words that I say on YouTube, like, especially like the first minute. You have to be really careful of what you say, or you'll either get demonetized or your video won't pop up. Um, okay. Speaking of liberals, so here, I'm going to show it to you. So I was going to talk about Disney, and I'm going to talk about Disney in Florida versus Ron DeSantis. But while I was, looking up the stuff that I was going to talk about, I was also watching the Johnny Depp case. And I have just been enthralled in this case. And I'm the same. Somebody made a comment earlier. They said, normally I don't get into celebrity gossip, but yeah, not advertiser. Well, that one makes sense to me. Um, so I've been enthralled in this case, and somebody said earlier, I normally don't get into celebrity gossip, but this whole situation, if you guys have been following Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, it's a defamation case. And the reason this defamation case is coming out is because Amber Heard made allegations of domestic violence against Johnny Depp. She was talking about it publicly for a while, making these allegations. And then in 2018, she went to the Washington Post and did an op ed where she didn't name Johnny Depp, but she basically implied that he was abusing her for years and that she was this survivor. She really took advantage of the Me Too movement that was happening at the time. She's now a spokesperson against that kind of violence and goes and does speeches, and it completely ruined his career. I watch the commentary and lead attorney channel for that, and I don't pay attention. Johnny has audio evidence in one video that shows she's physical abuser. Yes, but this really goes to show, this whole thing has highlighted how bad toxic femininity can be. We talk about that toxic masculinity, but look at this. And the interesting thing about this is, um, so it's as this was happening, he got fired from the Pirates franchise and all of these films. He was basically canceled and blacklisted in Hollywood. And what's so interesting is everyone automatically believed her. They automatically believed her because she's a woman. But as this was going along, as audio started surfacing, as more stories started surfacing, it became clear. And in my opinion, the trial is still going on, but it became very clear that the aggressor and the one doing the abuse was, in fact, Amber. There's evidence of that, much more compelling evidence of that. But what's even more disturbing is Amber has also been arrested in the past for, I'm going to call it DV because, like I said, they're just they're weird about words. So I'm going to use DV instead of, you know what I'm talking about. So Amber Heard was actually arrested in the past for DV against her girlfriend. She dates women as well. And this is just the perfect example of how people use victim culture. This is toxic femininity, and how people use the woke and all of this stuff, all of this victim status stuff, to silence other people or to get out of things, and they take advantage of it. So she was arrested before she met Johnny Depp for DV, and later on she fought it. She eventually was able to get the charges dropped. So she was not the charges dropped. She was eventually able to get this taken off her record. And she told the media and everyone that the reason she was arrested was because she was a lesbian and with a woman, and that this was pure misogyny and homophobia. Okay, it gets better. The cop, I'm not even joking, you can look this up. The cop that arrested her was a lesbian. It was a female cop, and she was a lesbian. And she was also, like, if you look at her, so she's also very outspoken for rights for lesbians and gay individuals. And Amber Heard got away with blaming it on misogyny and homophobia. That is how effed up, upside down our world is. And Wow, she's really using victimhood black magic. I mean, I can't, it's so completely fascinating, but we talk about this stuff all the time. And the reason I brought this up before going into Disney is I'm about to talk about Disney and Florida. Well, today on the stand, Johnny Depp was talking about Disney, and I thought it was really interesting. And I wanted to tell you what he said. Um, so we've talked about Disney before. Remember Gina Carano? She was in what was she in? Was she in Star Wars? I think she was in Star Wars. So Gina Carano is a Hollywood actress, and she was sort of outspoken about some conservative beliefs that she has and on Twitter, but they were very like middle of the road. You still didn't know if she was conservative or not, but she was saying a few things again, very middle of the road, very milk toast. None of it was controversial, and she got fired from her movie Lucasfilms, which is also I believe owned by Disney or Lucasfilms. They're all connected. It's Disney basically. Well, she got fired from her films, and she found out on Twitter. No one had, she found out first on Twitter before she found out by Disney. The same thing happened to Johnny Depp. So it was either a few weeks or a few days after this op-ed that Amber wrote for the Washington Post, basically implying that this was Johnny that did all these horrible, awful things to her. Either a few days or a few weeks later, he got fired from Disney, and he got fired from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, which is Disney. And he found out from a news article. Isn't that wild? And he has said, I will never ever work for Disney ever again. I felt so betrayed. Nobody talked to me. Nobody asked my side of the story. They just saw this op ed, and everyone started canceling me, and Disney fired me. And it was really sad because Gina could take Amber. And it's crazy because, again, this goes to show we just automatically believe all women. Me too. We just automatically believe the woman. The man has no chance to save his character. He also said, this is really interesting, even though she's been arrested for this in the past, even though she has a reputation for not being a very nice person in Hollywood. He was asked in court today. Oh, before I get into that, I want because we were talking about toxic femininity, and I want to more into this later. But I saw this tweet from somebody. I've been watching a lot of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and with the stuff coming out about Jada Pinkett, it really makes me realize that we talk so much about toxic masculinity, but never toxic femininity. Maybe it's time to start. I completely agree with that. But here's what Johnny Depp said. So before we get into exactly what he said about Disney, he said they asked him, they were like, well, how come, this article was written several years ago? Why didn't you talk about this several years ago? And this is what he said. He said, I had no ability to speak prior to this trial because even if I had done it in an interview to try to explain myself, it would have turned into a hit piece. I couldn't take it anymore. He also choked up on the stand talking about pirates because he's done 5 pirates movies. He basically made this character. He made the Jack Sparrow character what it was, and a lot of it was his idea. Disney was pushing back on him. They saw the character in a different way, and he pushed. So he made that character the way that it was. He made that Jack Sparrow character. It wouldn't be the same without him. Not only that, you guys, I don't know if you've seen the videos where he would dress up as Jack Sparrow and go to children's hospitals and make their day. There was one hospital he went to, he was there for 6 hours just visiting with children. So he did a lot with this character, and they had him for years. And he got fired like that by reading an article because one crazy lady made some allegations against him. Jack Posobiec on Twitter says Johnny Depp choking up on the stand. I built the character of Jack Sparrow from the ground up. I added so much of myself to it, and Disney declared me guilty until proven innocent. That's what we do to men. Yay! Lance said Elon Musk just tweeted, "Hey guys, Twitter is ours." Yay! I think that just white pilled a lot of people. If you don't know about it, okay, so the blue pill is when you're still in the lie. The red pill is when you see the truth. The black pill is when you are just not optimistic about anything. The world is doomed and we're all going to die. The Willy Wonka, Jack Sparrow, essentially the same character. Oh, they're different. Let the salt let the salt pour forth. Yes. And then the white pill is when you're like, there is hope. So I think a lot of people are getting white. I'm surprised that Disney didn't make Jack Sparrow gay. That's really interesting. The next Jack Sparrow probably will be gay, but it won't be the same. But it makes me sad too because he gave all of that to Disney and all those videos of him going to these hospitals with kids. Well, here, let me see. I'm going on Twitter right now. Time, we should be looking for the America First candidates for the ongoing primaries. I agree. The left-wing blue check brigade members losing their minds on here over Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter are doing this because he's going to bring true free speech to this platform. They've been playing with a rigged algorithm and know their gig is about to be up. Glorious. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. But what they don't understand, all of these people, they love the censorship. They love that people get canceled because it's people that are not on their side. But I hate to break it to everyone, but the tide always turns. Um, One day it could be your side, and then all of a sudden, let's be respectful. Is someone not being respectful? The salt flows today. Can't wait to hear what Trump has to say. He already made some no, he was making jokes about CNN. Do you guys remember that? So CNN is basically Plus is basically done. They spent I think $300 million. They got 10,000 people to sign up. Hold the champagne bottles. He didn't say anything yet. It's ready to pop though. Yeah, it's about wait, I think he did. Wait, let's find his tweet. Yeah, not yet. His last tweet was 2 hours ago. He said, I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means. CNN is the most distrusted name in news. Well, you know what's funny? Everyone always says the only reason that CNN is on air because that's what plays in airports and like waiting rooms and stuff like that. And after seeing what a disaster CNN Plus was, I'm starting to think that's true. And somebody made a joke. I don't remember who it was, but somebody said CNN can't even get viewers for free. Why do they think people would pay to view them? But it lasted 30 days. So CNN Plus is going to be completely done. It was an absolute disaster. Oh, of course. And the hit pieces are about to come. So expect the hit pieces for Elon Musk to come. So Variety just said FX and the New York Times announced Elon Musk expose documentary. Right on schedule. Right on schedule. Okay, so since we were talking about Disney, but I just found it so interesting that Disney was talked about a lot today in this trial with Johnny Depp. And it was the same exact thing that happened to Gina Carano, the canceling, the immediate betrayal by people that you worked for, and the way in which they found out. Gina found out on Twitter. Johnny Depp found out on some article he read somewhere. Boo, Disney sucks. Oh, we're gonna get into that. So, I asked what topics yesterday, if anyone had any topics they wanted to talk about, and Somebody did mention Disney versus Ron DeSantis, so I kind of wanted to break down what happened, and I am 1000% on Ron DeSantis's side, and I'll explain to you why. Um, so basically, what happened is Disney had a lot of these special privileges in Florida. They basically were like their own self-governed, like their own little country within Florida, even though their headquarters is in Burbank. That's really interesting. So they could make their own regulations. They could do all kinds of stuff, and I'll get more into that. And Ron DeSantis revoked that. And a lot of this was in response to all of this "Don't Say Gay" bill sort of controversy. So you had some people online saying, that is government overreach. How could he do that? That's You can't just do all this stuff because you're a government official. That's not democratic. And that's because they just expressed an opinion and then he took all this stuff away. Well, I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that sentiment and why I agree with Ron DeSantis, and I think he did the right thing. And we will get into it. So if you don't know the backstory of what happened, there was this bill. I've read it 1,000 times. Not actually 1,000. I don't have time for that, but I read it a lot. DeSantis will be helping Musk get Twitter finalized. Avengers assemble. I like that. So there was a parental rights piece of legislation that was signed in Florida. The legislation basically says, and this is all it says that pre K through third grade, a teacher cannot lead class discussions on gender identity or sexual orientation. That's it. That's all it says. And the media lied, politicians lied. They started calling it the "Don't Say Gay" bill. Well, it just says you can't talk about orientation, period, as a class discussion with young children. And if you want to know why they felt it necessary to put that in legislation, I'm going to show you a video. Because some people are thinking, like, first, what I would say was, first of all, when did it become appropriate to even have those conversations with children of that age? School teacher, because when I was growing up, that never happened. And some people, well, it's not happening. Why do we need it in the bill? It's the same circular argument for CRT. They're not teaching CRT in schools. Okay, well, let's ban CRT in schools. Wait a second, you can't do that. But you just said it's not being taught in school. So what's the problem with banning it? It's almost the same as this. Teachers aren't doing that in school. Okay, so what's your problem with banning it? Well, you can't do that. But I'm going to show you an example of a teacher. Tell me this is not creepy. And these are the type of videos that are coming out all the time from what teachers are talking about to their children in school. And this is why a bill like that is necessary. Let me pull it up for you. Can you see it? I'll read it to you in a second. So basically, I just realized I can't play that because it has music on it. So it says, so this is this teacher. It was a female to male. And it says, conservatives, stop brainwashing our children in the classroom with your LGBT agenda. And then the next slide shows what this person is teaching kids in school. Literally made slides for their students. It says, you know me as Miss Beeman, and I'm still your teacher, but now I go by Mix Beeman, MX. It sounds like Mix Beeman, MIX. I am transgender and non-binary. I was born in the wrong body. Even though I was born a girl, I feel more like a boy on the inside. I don't feel fully like any other. And then it goes into a lesson of gender identity and all of these really creepy things. Oh, what is transgender? Some people feel like a boy. They may feel like a girl. What are non-binary people? And this was Libs of TikTok. Teacher shows a slideshow they played for students that come out as trans and non binary. Students were taught that people can be born in the wrong bodies and sometimes they aren't even a boy or a girl. So these are the types of things that teachers are talking about with their kids. And this is why this legislation is necessary. So anyway, where Disney gets involved, and that's actually a pretty mild one. I've seen issues way worse. By the time my screen name, by the way, my screen name is 12 years old. I hope I didn't start this woke crap from beating up people with video games. Yeah, they do make jingles for everything. I can show. Ooh, I can show that. And here's the thing. Somebody made the point. So I saw an argument to this saying, well, what isn't it the same thing? Like if you're a woman and you get married and your kids now need to call you Mrs. And what I said back to that was, honestly, if I got married, I would just keep letting my kids call me Miss. I don't care. I really don't. And if they still called me, and even if I change, like, I don't know if teachers wear name tags anymore, even if I change the name on my name tag to Mrs. and they still called me Miss, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't know why teachers care so much. Just teach the kids. And if you want your adult friends to go by your whatever your made up pronouns are, talk to your adult friends about it. But who cares? I used to work with kids a lot. And in some places, like if you teach kids in the South, a lot of times sometimes they don't even call you your name. They just call you ma'am. And then I've worked with kids in urban areas, and a lot of kids in urban areas, a lot of them wouldn't call me my name either. They would just call me Miss. Mr. Sir. Okay, so anyway, so this bill was passed. Again, all it basically says is that you can't have these class discussions with children of this age. So Disney had a lot to say about it and actually put out a statement. Some of their employees started protesting. They were saying that this is wrong, they were calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, even though it doesn't say anything like that. And they then said this. Let me find it for you. So Disney actually put out a statement that said they are going to do everything in their power to repeal this piece of legislation. And my issue with this is Ron DeSantis, who signed this bill, is a duly elected governor. Most of the people in Florida, including Democrats, the majority of Democrats in Florida completely agree with this bill and are on board with it. So the governor who the people elected signed this bill, and the majority of people in Florida agree with this bill. And then you have this random corporation that is like, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure this is repealed, even though that completely goes against the will of the people. And they want to sit here and talk about democracy. So, but even still, I don't think, even still, not only did that happen, we saw these Zoom videos coming out of Disney executives basically saying that they're going to start injecting all kinds of gender identity stuff and LGBTQ, pansexual. I don't know. They're going to be injecting all this stuff. They admitted it. Go on Chris Rufo's Twitter account. They basically admitted that they are going to start injecting this into programming in whatever ways they could, which is a direct quote from one of these executives. So Ron DeSantis is like, okay, so you're saying you're going to do everything in your power to repeal this bill, which is the will of the people, and then you're saying you're going to be injecting all of this stuff into my child's programming, and you're in my state now and you get all of these special privileges. Well, you know what? That's not fair. You're going to start paying your fair share of taxes and you're no longer going to get special privileges. Mind you, you're not even based out of Florida. You're based out of Burbank, California. Ron DeSantis, I think he's doing what's right. And what's really interesting is I watched when they voted for this to pass, for them to repeal all of Disney's special privileges, and the Democrats were losing their minds. Democratic elected officials were losing their minds. Am I still buffering? The market is more general. Exactly. It's more just general, regular audience. Yeah. So Ron DeSantis signed Florida's. Oh, no, sorry. That's not it. Ron DeSantis said, and this will give you what that bill said. So it said this company, Disney, had a deal unlike any company or individual in all of the state of Florida, probably anywhere in the United States. They were self governing. They had extraordinary powers. They could build nuclear power plants. They didn't have to go through the permitting process and obviously a lot of tax benefits. And that's just inappropriate. And it's certainly inappropriate. You look, they pledged themselves to mobilize their considerable corporate resources out of the coffers of this Burbank, California based corporation to overturn the rights of parents in the state of Florida effectively. Um, oh, excuse me. California based corporation to overturn the rights of parents in the state of Florida effectively commandeer our democratic process. That is not cool. And it blew my mind. Oh, is it working now? Let me know if it's done buffering. It's working. Okay. And it blows my mind again. This is another self own by these so called liberals who are always like, it is. I don't know. I wonder. It blows my mind that, again, the party of tax the rich, the party of corporate corporate places need to pay their fair share of taxes. We need to tax corporations more, are so opposed to what Ron DeSantis is doing. He's basically just making it fair now. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why it is. I bet Eva is messing with your router. No, she isn't. Is everything plugged in? Eva's sleeping. Yeah, she's right here sleeping. I'll try to wake her up. She's not going to be very happy. Come here. She's. Come here. Oh my gosh, let me see if I can get her. Eva. Oh. Say hello. Oh, I don't know. Oh, she's going to. I tried. Have you gone outside and checked your telegraph wires? I need to. Cats love chin. Where? Come here. Say hello. I don't even have this squirt bottle. There she is. Eva. I think she's starting to purr. Say hello. She's huge. She's actually being good. I'm surprised. I think it's only because she's getting her chin rubbed. Look at the camera. Eva, look at the camera. Look, you have an audience. Do you want to help me talk about? Don't bite me. Do not bite me. When she looks at me, I get a little nervous. I saw a great Twitter thread about cats in Egypt. I'll try to find it for you. Ooh, I would like to see it. Yeah, she's in a better mood, but that one, oh gosh, I need to brush her. Oh, she got cat hair everywhere. She's in a better mood already. She wasn't too happy that I woke her up. But no, let me know if you, I completely agree with everything that Ron DeSantis did. I do not think that's an overreach. And again, I just think it's so funny how hypocritical they are and how all of a sudden now they don't want a large corporation like Disney to pay their fair share of taxes. Are you in VA permanently? No. I will probably I don't you think about it. Stop. Try to scratch the door. No, I know you all are going to tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll probably be back in California in June. So I'll be here for what's that? Like another month, maybe a month and a half. Now she's on my lap. Eva, just stay. Gosh. Oh, you know what? Oh gosh, she has so much hair. I need to brush her. Oh my goodness. Are you watching the Johnny Depp trial? Am I watching the Depp trial? Oh yes, I have been just completely enthralled in it. And a lot of it is just because I cannot believe just like we were talking about just toxic femininity, how just what we do to men. Aren't the libs all about big corporations paying their fair share of taxes unless it's one of their own, huh? Exactly. Yes. The definition of woke is calling out injustice unless it's your own behavior. Yes. They are so tribal, and that it's so sad that people are so tribal because honestly, I think the majority of us agree on most things. I really do. Just like this bill in Florida, I honestly think the majority of people, I think we all agree on most things. The issue is it's if he does it, it's bad. Whatever Ron DeSantis does is automatically bad. Whatever Donald Trump did was automatically bad, not because it's a bad piece of legislation or not because it's for the betterment of the state or the country or parents or whatever. It's because the person that did it is bad. And it's so sad. I actually heard it was so funny. I was watching a man on the street. Eva, stop. Here, go up there. Gosh. I was I don't she scratches the door. I just let her out. Um, I was watching a man on the street interview. It's fourth or fifth wave. I was watching a man on the street interview. And I think it was in California that they were doing it. And the person asking the question was asking if you agree with the bill. And I'm not even lady said they were specifically talking about the parental rights bill, the don't say gay, or as I like to call it, the doesn't say gay bill, because it doesn't say that anywhere in the bill. Both sides agree on the Florida don't groom the class. Exactly. Once things are explained, once people know what but they listen to the media that tells you this guy did it, so it's bad, and they lie about what's in it instead of actually looking at the information themselves. But one lady, I'm not even joking, she said, this is James Klug. He has a really good YouTube channel. He just does a lot of man on the street interviews, but he did this one, I think a few weeks ago or a month ago. He was asking if people agree with the parental rights bill, and one lady said no. And he was like, why? And she couldn't think of a reason why. She literally just said, I don't like Trump. What does Trump have to do with the bill? But they associate Ron DeSantis with Trump because of the media. Sarah, when you get a chance, House Minority Leader McCarthy on Fox News is talking about the border and the leaked. There is leak audio. I know that. I don't know if you guys saw this, but what's the leaked audio? Can you tell me? I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a National Guards guy just drowned. His name was Bishop. Let me see if I can pull up his name. I'll read you what happened, but this is really, 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 really sad. Wasn't it leaked audio from him under my Oh, do you mean talking about the border and the leaked audio? Oh, is that when he said for that's when he said for Trump to resign, right? I don't like him. And a lot of people don't know this either, but there were a lot of it was right after January 6th. Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about. I thought you meant he there was leaked audio on the border. So it was right after January 6th, a piece of leaked audio came out where McCarthy was saying that Trump should resign over January 6th. But I can't I'm so tired of people blaming him for that. He told them to go peacefully. It was his fault that whatever happened was not his fault. And if you're going to implicate him, then you have to implicate every single Democrat that was cheering on the riots all summer. I don't like it when they do that. They do it to save face. And a lot of people don't know a movie called The Plot Against the President, um, where they talk about all a lot of the Republicans didn't even like there were a lot of rhino Republicans that didn't want Donald Trump in office either. And they also tried, I don't want to say they tried to sabotage him, but they were definitely putting a lot of roadblocks up because what you have to understand about Donald Trump is I don't even really see him as Democrat or Republican. I see him as anti-establishment. And there are establishment Republicans just like there are establishment Democrats, and none of them liked him. Some want Jim Jordan to be the new Republican leader. From what I know about Jim Jordan, I like him a lot. But I'll tell you what just happened on the border. This is really, really sad. Let me find the story. I had it up. Oh, where is it? Let's go. Film illusion. Okay, so this is what happened. Governor Greg Abbott today issued a statement after a body of a previously missing Texas National Guard soldier was recovered. Last week, specialist Bishop Evans, assigned to Operation Lone Star, so he was National Guard, was reported missing along the Rio Grande River during a mission related to an incident in Eagle Pass. So he dove into the Rio Grande. There's been a lot of really heavy currents in the Rio Grande. So a lot of people have been in danger and drowning along the Rio Grande because of this current. He was missing, haven't heard about the drowning. They found him and he's passed away. He drowned. So he jumped in to save, I believe it was two migrants. He jumped in to save two migrants who were in trouble and ended up drowning. Come to find these migrants were drug trafficking. Our National Guard soldiers save their lives every day. I would save lives every day. Multiple sources confirm the body of missing Texas National Guard soldier Bishop Evans was found this morning. So he was found this morning. He is presumed to have dead after jumping into the Rio Grande to save people crossing illegally on Evil Pass. But it says what they were doing. They were drug smugglers. I was going to say trafficking, but I wanted to make sure I had it right. Yeah. So he jumped in to try to save people that were smuggling drugs. And it's really sad because you lost a good person. He was a really young guy, 22 years old. Someone just tweeted Elon Musk is buying Twitter, CNN Plus is shutting down, Disney is being reined in. Disney also lost a lot of stock. Exactly. I was in North Carolina Army National Guard troops taught to help save lives. Yeah. I know, but that's how they are. They're going to save. I mean, he didn't know that they were smuggling drugs at the time. And, you're taught you go in and save people. You don't know what they're doing or why they're there. You don't even think about it. You jump in to save lives. And that's what he did. And unfortunately, he drowned. Noble attempt for dope runners. All right, you all. I think I'm going to be back. I'm going to go every day at 2 p.m. So if you want to come hang out at 2 p.m. anytime. If Musk can fix Twitter before the midterms, oh, yes, he was a hero. I forgot about that. Yes. Right before the midterms, so they can't suppress information. Hard fact, attempting to save a drowning person is a great way to increase the amount of dead bodies. Yeah, but that's what they do. To the drugs. I have no idea. I don't have a whole lot of information about. I'm sure more will come out. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Did Biden better not get in Musk's way. I don't think he will. All right, you all. Well, I'm gonna go again. I'll be here 2 p.m. Eastern every day this week. So if you want to come hang, and if there's anything that you ever want to talk, just let me know. I found that thread about cats. Tagged you in it. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. That was really sweet. I really appreciate that. Got the thread. I can't wait to read that. Thank you, everyone. That was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If there, do you want do you want the dollar back? Thank you so much, Kelly. I'll be here every day at 2 this week, 2 p.m. this week. Thanks, Sarah. Cheers, everyone. They can't.
You're welcome.
Siri, turn off. I'll Venmo you. All right, that was a lot of fun. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If there's ever anything that you want to talk about, you can go into the community tab. So that's should be on the homepage, but go into the community tab, and I have my last community post says that I'll be here every day at 2 p.m. So just put in the comments inflation next topic. Okay. So just put in the comments things that if there's something you want to talk about, put it in there and I'll look at it before I go live. But I'll see you tomorrow at 2. Thank you all and have a good day. Okay, bye. 2 p.m. Eastern. Every day this week at 2 p.m. Eastern.